Yo, what's up? What's good? You are now tuned in to the Keys and Seeds podcast, where we discuss music, mental health, and spirituality from the perspective of Kyndl artist as well as Ken, the person behind the art. And of course, if you support the pod, then you too are also Ken. Be sure to join the conversation and follow the pod at Keys X Seeds Pod. And as always, knowledge and kindness is key. This is episode, I'm not sure yet. And without further ado, let's jump into the episode. Welcome back to the pod, everyone. I am super excited to be recording this episode because I am not in my usual space of recording. I am currently back home in Nap. And I came back home not for podcasting reasons. I came back home to support my best friend who just graduated from Butler. She got doctor on her name now, so shout out to my best, Ashanta. She just graduated from Butler Pharmacy School, and yeah, she worked hard for that. And I told her that I would not miss her graduation for the world, so that was my reason for coming back to Nap. Whenever I do come back to Nap, it's very intentional, but I'm the type of person I can never just take a break or a vacation anywhere. If I go anywhere, I still have to be productive and get work in. So while here, I'm like, I just started the podcast. I know I have a list of people here in the city that I want to talk to. Of course, I'm not going to be able to get to everybody in one day and one weekend. But while here, I did book a space while here in Nap. Shout out to I Create Studios for allowing me to use their space today. And today, I have a few interviews lined up, but as of currently, I have the Flourish Avenue brand. These are the first guests that I'm interviewing on the pod. I'm not sure if this is going to be the first episode to release out of the guests that I'm interviewing today. Of course, I got to just make sense of things chronologically as far as content. But shout out to Flourish Avenue being my first guest on the pod. I'm super happy and excited to have these guys. Of course, I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves, but just to give my own introduction to these guys, every guest that I plan to have on the pod, I'm going to be very intentional about selecting. I know a few people have already hit me about wanting to be on the pod, and of course, some of those people are people who I'm already, locked in with. Like, of course, no brainer. Like, you're on the list. And then other people, I might not really know. I might not be familiar with their brand. But after checking them out, if it's something that I feel aligns with what I stand on, then of course. But long story short, I'm not just bringing any and everybody on my platform. These are people who I genuinely support and rock with. And these guys behind this brand are individuals who I went to Ball State with. As many of you guys know, I went to Ball State. And it's so crazy, like, being in college, like, partying and, like, turning up with niggas that are, like, doctors and shit. Like, like, it's so crazy to, like, really be, in the space and environment of college, but you're also interacting with people who are creative minds and people who are doing something great and positive. And these guys are examples of that. So again, shout out to Flourish. I will let these guys introduce themselves, let you guys know who they are and their brand. Whichever one of y'all want to go first.
Thank you so much for that introduction.
Of course.
My name is Verge. I go by Visualmania, 1/3 of Flourish Avenue. I'm a music recording artist, graphic designer, event planner. I do a few different things. So.
What's up, everybody? My name is Tony. Thank you again for inviting us to this podcast. I am also 1/3 co-founder of Flourish Avenue.
Do you do anything else outside of flourishing? Not to put you on the spot.
I mean, no. He said what do I do besides flourishing? I don't know. It's kind of hard to answer that. Like, that's all we do is flourish. So, But no.
Great answer.
I also
I like that.
Plugging the brand, every answer. No, but I know, Verge, you do a lot of different things. I think when I first came across you, it was on some music vibes. Like, we had mutual friends, and I think, like, Flourish was a brand that I ended up coming across, like, later on in time. But I didn't initially meet y'all through the brand Flourish. Like, Verge, I think, like I said, I met you through mutual friends, and I knew you do music. And then we met, I think, through
NABJ,
NABJ
Association.
Yeah, so
Black journalists.
Yeah, did you graduate with the journalism major?
Journalism and telecommunications.
That's what's up. So yeah, I think I had met you through like on some journalism.
The first body meeting. When you students come to like the interest meeting. Body meeting. It was that meeting.
You remember that?
Yeah.
That was so long ago.
My boy is scholar. My
Period.
boy really is scholar. He just humble.
Period.
He just humble.
My memory is real spotty, but I be remembering some stuff. I know we met like on some journalism type vibes. But yeah, so like I said, I wasn't initially familiar with Flourish, but of course I came across it over time, and just to see what the brand like started as. I don't know if you guys were like working on it before I became aware of it. So of course I'm going to ask y'all and pick y'all brain on how the brand came about, but just to see how it's been able to flourish since, Ball State, and to see what it is now as far as y'all pushing it in the city is really dope to see. So my question is, how did y'all two specifically linking up? And who's the third person? Because you said 1/3. It's only two of y'all here, so let the people know.
Other co-founder of Flourish Avenue is our partner, Isaiah Treadwell, a.k.a. Zeke. Congratulations. He's
shout out to Zeke, man.
Shout out to Zeke, man.
Hey, brand new, soon to be father.
Congratulations, man.
Congratulations, brother.
He's a daddy now.
Congratulations.
That's why he's not with us right now.
Okay.
Gotta take care of the family.
Okay.
Family first. That's our philosophy.
But shoot, honestly, let me go back. Okay, the way Flourish started, honestly, it started as like an inside joke on Twitter,
right?
Between me and me and my other friends that we was about to we had plans, like it was like the end of one of the school years of Ball State, and we just like had a plan on moving together as a collective in like a new crib or whatever. I don't even think we had the crib picked out yet, but once we had the crib picked out, man, we were so turned up, we were so hyped because how the year ended. We was throwing parties. We was throwing day parties. Everybody's making their grades. Everybody's making their grades too.
You know how on social media everybody feels like the last like good summer was 2016.
Yeah,
it was that summer.
It was that summer. The show
so
was
we was
summer
just,
16.
Yeah, like just like everybody else understands that, like with the little puppy filter, like it was just going down that year.
Right.
Yeah.
The Coachella
right.
head,
Drake
man.
Views was just
I totally forgot it was 2016. But yeah, so like us just joking on Twitter and stuff.
Right.
I had just tweeted like something like I can't wait till we move to Flourish Ave. Like, just we like a creative collective. It was me, Tony, Isaiah, and our guy Demore. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Nero. Gotta shout out to De Niro. Shout out to everybody who we eventually helped. You know what I'm saying? Who eventually came and helped us with Flourish down the line. But anyway, how it started, we ended up having plans to move to a crib. It was a big crib we ended up getting. So like it really wasn't nothing after the joke. Like it was just something we kind of said amongst ourselves, like in the crib, But as like the next school year started, the fall of 2016. Once we start doing, I was doing parties at Be Here Now with my partner Robert Miles. Shout out to Robert Miles too. So I was doing parties up there. So that was like 2 blocks away from where we lived at, like kind of in the heart of the downtown College Muncie. You know what I'm saying? I can't even remember what the street name was. But anyway, like, so people used to...
Yeah, Be Here Now was right off campus.
Be Here Now used to slap.
In the village.
Yeah, Be
the
Here
village,
Now used to slap. Shout out to DJ Ann Banks. I used to have him come come up from Nap to Muncie, and he used to tear it down. Shout out to DJ Ray. But anyway, that's all in the past. Back to the whole thing with Flourish. So we would have after parties after our Be Here Now parties. Like Ant Banks or DJ Ray, they'd come to the crib and like they'd set up like in the basement or set up like right up in the front. We had like how many rooms we had, bro? It was like a little country
like
man. It was like a little
Yeah.
country mansion, like a little.
Yeah.
Like upstairs had a kitchen too.
Yeah.
And downstairs had a kitchen.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot going on.
It was
I
a
remember
creepy
the spot.
house, but
I
like
remember the spot.
It was a lot going on. So like I me being a graphic designer, I just always want to make like a moment out of like an opportunity. Not saying I'm an opportunist, but at the same time, I'm really into movies and into visuals and things like that. And I just want to blow the moment up. If we having an event, I want it to look like the best thing, the biggest thing going. So we would have like parties and stuff like that at the crib, but instead of putting the address, like making the spot hot, we put Flourish Avenue, and we had like a logo. We had like, we had a logo.
Smart.
And it wasn't never. We were just thinking to use that as like
Right.
kind
it was
of
like
like
on the
If
hush,
you know,
hush.
you know.
If you
Right.
know, you know.
So
So if you don't, you don't.
so that was
Right.
from 2016 on to. That probably just lasted. Honestly, that probably just lasted that year with the parties. Like you know what I'm saying, for a full year. But people still was like, I feel like it was still was in people's mind. Like, was that a real place? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, was that a
Right.
real street? Like, so.
I remember like first coming across y'all, like first coming to Ball State. I'm like, what the fuck is Flourish? I'm over here in maps like Flourish, like ain't no street popping up. It was really good. If you know, you know.
Yeah, a lot. I feel like a lot of people can attest to that. Like, we had a lot of people spinning. Like, we don't know where it's at. Like, y'all ain't put the
Right.
Yeah, they'll respond. They'll DM us back on Snapchat. So I'm like, I can't find it. I put in the address.
Snap was
I'm like,
going
what? They
crazy.
really?
Bruh.
I thought they was just joke. I thought they knew like it was a joke, but people really took it
We
serious.
used to have the geo filters. Like when we did an event called Wings and Hen at the crib on Flourish Ave, and oh my God, it was just a lot going on. We not promoting, you know what I'm saying? We not promoting nothing crazy for like anybody underage drinking. Everybody who was participating was of age, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
yeah, but Flourish Ave, we about promoting better living. So
So yeah, how did it turn from the parties and what Flourish was to it now being what it is with the clothing brand?
Well, I'm really gonna let Tony tell you, cause tell you how like we he initially went about that, but I came to him with a vision, just as far as like with my music and stuff like that, not solely saying Flourish is about that, but I like me and Tony, we have a lot of deep talks. Like we a couple years apart, but like this really my brother. You know, like we relate on a lot of things. Like we alike in so many ways, and we different in so many ways. And he's somebody I'm comfortable with bouncing like crazy ideas off, like ideas that other people may think are crazy.
Right.
You know.
Did y'all initially meet at Ball State?
Yeah. Yeah.
How did y'all meet? Like, did y'all have classes together or?
It was at I first met him. It was at what was
The BSA?
No, not BSA. What was it called? What was the org called? It was
Boys to Men?
No, not boys.
Men and Women of Color?
Men and Women
Men
of
and
Color.
Women of Color.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was some involved brothers. We wasn't sitting in
Right.
It was
sitting
Men
at
and
home.
Women of Color, and he like they know when they
My next guest was gonna be NAACP.
you know they throw out a question. You know he as always. You know Visual's not afraid to speak his mind, so he stood up and spoke, and I said, "Who this person that sound like he from West Side from Indianapolis?" And I'm like, he just like he's
One
just
thing
like
about
me.
Verge, he's gonna let you know what he's.
And but I was like, he remind me of me. I'm like, finally, the first person. Like, I kind of like,
Right.
they probably went through the same stuff I went through, man. Cause
Right.
I like going to college was a different like feeling like I was around different people, and I was just like, man, I don't relate to a lot of these type of black men, like, and I just couldn't always understand it.
Right.
But then until I seen him, I was like, that's because like I could just tell like, and so once we got to talking and having our deep talks, I'm like, yeah, I see why I relate to him, cause yeah, like, and I knew once I heard him speak that like, yeah, it was something that connected
For sure.
about him.
For sure.
Yeah, like so like one day, and this is like when we out of school, like bro been graduated. I've been quit, been dropped out, said I ain't going back. So like I just, was going through my little thing. But I always had this vision, like, and shout out and long live Nipsey Hussle, man. Like,
Long live Nip.
if we build a street, like, not even physically, but if you buy a property, you buy a crib, like Aunt buy a crib, I buy a crib on the street, a couple years down the line, we able to get our aunties or our close friends to buy the same houses not the same houses, but
Right.
if we able to start building a community block by
same
block
space.
or property by property, you know what I'm saying, some type of way, and we can, if we can't get our own city, we can build our own community where it got our everything is in our best interest. You know what I'm saying? The politics, the people protecting the community, the resources coming into the community. And like, this is not something like I thought of when I start listening to Nipsey Hussle. This is something I always wanted. I always wanted things for like, not on a selfish thing, but I always wanted things for myself. I grew up very poor. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, and I was blessed to be able to transition out of that and see a different side. I know a lot of people, they had it better and they had it, way worse. I ain't saying I had the worst life, but at the same time, like I see a lot of things that could be improved and enhanced with just people collaborating, with a community being more so built.
Right.
So like that's what I was telling bro about, like, eventually, like, let's have our own city, but let's start with a street.
Okay.
So like Flourish Ave, and he
Right.
really like got an amazing business mind. He's like very calculated. He very organized. He read like a, can I cuss on her? He read like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And like, nah, like a lot of people might try to joke about it, but like, I slap somebody out about this man. You feel me? Because like, no, really, like it's knowledge that he
Y'all
goes
both bring different strengths.
and he goes the extra mile, and he don't step on nobody's toes, and he'll do things other people won't think about doing. You know what I'm saying? And that make me want to do the same thing, get back in my bag how it used to be before I got in. So it's just like, yeah, like that's, and he really just took the business and ran with. Was that pre-pandemic or that was during the pandemic?
I was during the pandemic. Honestly, I was bored as hell, because I was a teacher assistant, and of course, schools were shut down, and I was getting paid still. So, and I remember in college, I said, if I can just always get paid and paid off the rent, and I have to work, I think this would be cool. Until the pandemic happened, I was bored as hell, and Verge, he's a musician, and he needed a character drawn. Like, he wanted to have a character drawn.
Right.
And I'm bored. I have nothing to do. And I guess he didn't know, like, we was roommates in 2016. Pandemic happened 2020, no, 2019.
Yeah,
2020.
Yeah,
2020.
2020. And he didn't know up until that time I could draw. And I was like, I'll draw for you. I ain't got nothing to do.
I had no idea.
And so I drew it for him. And he was like, man, what you been doing this whole time? I was like, bro, I'm trying to get my life together. I stopped drawing once I went to college. I changed my major to journalism. So I like, why draw? So I stopped drawing like since like before, like at the end of high school. But then I started realizing, how about we just make a business? And then I'm like, we already did something with Flourish Ave. And then we already had shirts made. But that was homecoming senior year. And it was the only 2 shirts that we had made for us. And that was it. And I think we had our other partner, he had a shirt made too. I mean, I think a couple other people had a shirt made.
I put them football shirts out 2018.
2018.
It was just like experiment, but we still didn't, like, we talked about some stuff, but we still didn't
Like
move on it.
because we never just thought of it. Was just something we did for fun.
Yep.
But I'm like,
I think I do
serious.
remember that now that y'all say that.
but as he said, like,
Yeah.
it's as far as me being organized, my family, like, I couldn't tell we was poor because we always flourished. Like, my mom always dressed to impress. My dad, everybody in my family always was well groomed, So even if we was on the poor street, we probably had like the cleanest. Like, we had one of the cleanest cribs on the block. Like, everybody loved going to our house because it felt comfortable. You didn't have to worry about no mice, no gnats, no fly. Like, you didn't have to worry about that. Like, it was comfortable.
Yeah, I would love to stay for dinner at your crib. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's why everybody always wanted.
Hey, go ask your mama.
Everybody wanted to stay in my crib, as even though my mom didn't want nobody staying at her crib.
Right.
That's how she kept it clean. She didn't want nobody at the crib.
Right.
But I just realized we have a team. So I set me, him, and Zeke down, and I just said, let's just start a business. Let's just start selling T-shirts, and let's just start from there. And me and my friend TJ, shout out to TJ,
TJ.
Timothy. I don't care what he say, but when I was living with him, all we did was try to manifest what we would do with our life. So he got me into all this manifesting, law of attraction stuff, like. And for a while, I was like, bro, what he's talking about, bro? I ain't got time for that, bro. I ain't gonna stay. But he helped me realize I need to find something to do in my life and use the skill sets I have. So I thought about that, and I tried to put all the pieces together. I'm like, let's do this, y'all. So since then, we've been slowly but surely laying one brick at a time, you know. So eventually, you know, we're in 2023, you know, we're getting better by the month, by the day. And I wouldn't be able to do this without Zeke and Vizzle. Like, he's always pushing me. You know, growing up, I didn't really have confidence. So I would say, like, he's one of the...
hey, drop your nuts on these niggas, man.
He's one of the first people to, like, you know, really put that battery in my back and really try to, like, you know, you can do this too, bro. Like, everybody else got a gimmick. Why not you? You know, like, hey, you got a point there. So, you know, we're here now, and
I love that.
This is our first interview. Like, you said we're the first people you're interviewing, but, like, you're the first person that was willing to interview us. So this is manifesting.
Look
you
at
know?
guys.
It's like a 360 because we just interviewed her like 2 years ago just on some
Yeah.
humbug.
And I was just like, we're supposed to just drop off that shirt.
Right.
But I'm like, look, Verge, he was just doing it out of nowhere because, you know, I don't like cameras. So I know he going to put the camera, and I was just like, hey, just keep it going. I know I got to trust him. You know what I'm saying? I got to trust him. So let him do what he do. And it came to be one of our first vlog, you know, for our website. So when we had to make our website, we didn't have to panic like, oh, man, what else can we add? We got the pictures, models, product, but we need something else. Like, hey, we got this video. Yeah. And Verge do what he does best. You know, he's like a wizard with the laptop. You know,
Appreciate it. I just finesse a little
he's the genius, you know what I'm saying? He's the genius, you know what I'm saying, of the three, you know what I'm saying? He knows he's the Swiss Army, you know, Swiss Army knife. He can do whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying?
For sure. So how did y'all transition from it being a Muncie-based brand to it being now and that? Because both of y'all are from that, right?
Yeah.
Born and raised. So how was that transition, like building a brand in that? I mean, not in that, but in Muncie, like on campus with Ball State, and then bringing it back to the city. Was that like a smooth transition because y'all already from that? Like, how was it with the city embracing y'all as far as both of y'all having that market?
I would say it wasn't really far as it was a smooth transition as far as like getting the people to get behind us. Mm-hmm. We already knew that. That was the whole issue. It took us a few years to realize that because like personally, we had our trials and tribulations. Like we had our ups and downs. Like you said, I just graduated, so I'm trying to figure life out after college.
Right, and that's also a thing too. You know, like graduating and got to figure out your life. You know,
and like I know he still stayed in Muncie for another year, so of course you know we're gonna probably spend that year apart.
Right.
You know, and then he came back, but he still had to figure his situation out in Nap because now he's back in Nap.
Right.
And I'm still trying to adjust to Nap. Like I said, I just finally got an apartment, you know what I'm saying? I have a roommate, you know what I'm saying? Me and him, you know, like me and my friend TJ, we was having our trials and tribulations. Right. So it was a lot going on before we could kind of settle down. And the pandemic did allow us to settle down because we had no choice. We had no choice. The whole government told us to settle down. Right. So I had to sit down and think. 2017.
Both of y'all graduated 2017?
I never graduated. I'm a college dropout, proudly. not proud. I ain't gonna say it like that. I do plan to go back, but when the time is right for me, you know what I'm saying. I you know I do recommend like everybody to go to college. You know what I'm saying. If you
I didn't even know you didn't finish. I just remember both of y'all leaving before.
I was in school for a long time. I graduated and I went to Indiana State and I was there for 3 years. And then I left school. I was like, forget school. Then it was like a year. And then I transferred to Ball State. Somehow they accepted me and accepted my credits from Indiana State. So my whole time it was just like just trying to figure even before getting to Ball State and even meeting bro. You know, I just since a kid I've been trying to do so many things. You know what I'm saying? Just so many things to. I always had this like vision of an empire because I don't want nobody to work in my family or anybody I love for. I really want everybody to. Going back to one of bro's sayings, I really want everybody to get better, for real. You know what I'm saying? So like, to answer your question, I don't feel like it was a smooth transition at all. Like we had some real estate in a few people's minds still, but they weren't our target audience because they didn't live in Indianapolis. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like they probably like would show us some love, like with a follower or something, like when we first got our pages started. But like, wasn't nobody like beating down our doors, like trying to get a T-shirt except our super close supporters. It was like our, people like you, people like people that helped us with the brand. You know what I'm saying, doing our first photo shoots and stuff like that. So I think one thing that did make it a little bit easier than some brands is our actual like our company values and like even just as simple as our company name and even going to some of the designs, like we really trying to. I'm not trying to say we selling hope. I always tell people it's a mindset and it's an ideology because like I've been in the pits. I've been like my mind has been somewhere like I don't think like some people could. I feel like some people could relate, but it's been in the darkest. Like even bro, I know he's been somewhere. So it's just like we don't never want people to go back there. Sorry. So like Flourish, like we promoting better living. We want people to get better. Like, so I think that kind of helps ease. Like when we introducing the story to new customers. You know what I'm saying? Who have no knowledge of like our story when we started back in Muncie. I think because like we get compliments on like we like what y'all brand stand for. Like so like we get compliments on the designs as well. My boy go crazy with the designs and I go stupid with them too. But like more so it's like what do people feel good wearing? Sorry. Like that's like so, but at the same time, like so it wasn't super smooth because like we had a lot of figuring out to do, and we was kind of scrambling just in our own turfs and our own territories. Even Zeke, so. But at the same time, like I feel like we all figured out a set of goals that we wanted, a set of values that we had for the company. Just run with it, like so. Shit, when they come, okay, I forgot I can cuss. Okay, so when they come up to us, we can let them know, welcome to Flourish. You know what I'm saying? We believe if you got a goal, you got a dream, plant your seed, water it with the grind. You know how they say trust the process? Mm-hmm. It ain't gonna be cute. It ain't gonna be pretty. That shit gonna be ugly. You gotta get in the dirt, but you gonna come back. You gonna rise. You just gotta keep putting that water on. You gotta. That it's that sweat. Sometimes it's that sweat equity you gotta do. I did a lot of work for free before. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Like relationships are a very important thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta know when to go. You gotta know when to grow. You feel me? So it's just like that's just my whole take on it, like the transition from us like really initially starting in Muncie to us transitioning to being like Indianapolis founded LLC.
For sure. I love that. And I love the analogy you use as far as the seed and the water. Like since I came up with the name for the pod, like that's been like heavy in my spirit with like keys and seeds. Like I love that. I love that you slipped that in there.
I mean, it's you on the right track. We on the track with you.
So. Right. So when you said that your whole goal is to not have your family work, me wanting to ask you, because you do so many different things, like, are those things that you like taught yourself to do just because you have that mindset? Are those like passion that you've always had? Like, how did you get into also like the music and the graphics, like? Because you do so much, and how do you balance it all?
The whole thing about, like, I guess not wanting my family to work, I don't want them to work. I got jobs for them. I don't want them to work for nobody else. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I do want to get to a point where this shit is coming in. Go have fun. Go live your life. You know what I'm saying? Go see the horizon in Alaska, something like that. But like it really started out with just like I feel like a love for technology. Like ever since I was like 6 years old, my granddaddy, my granddaddy had this job where he used to dig ditches. You know what I'm saying? So like, he used to have to take pictures of the dig sites. He was a country man. He used to have to take pictures of the dig sites with a Polaroid camera, and he used to have me take some of the pictures. I was a shorty going to work with him every day. So like that Polaroid camera with when that shutter hit, it just did something to me. Not being in front of the camera, being behind it. But I'm not a person that like taking photos nowadays. Like I wouldn't be a photographer. You know what I'm saying today.
Right.
But I think it started with that, and then like so my love for just art, cartoons. Like I was born in 1991, so by the time I was like 10, anime was big for us. I feel like the generation before me, like the Wu-Tang, it was kung fu movies. It was like kung fu and comics. You feel me?
Sorry.
For like you see it now in a lot of people music, anime, like like people like Lil Uzi and stuff like that. So I feel like my generation really started getting on that. So I was really into drawing. Dragon Ball Z, that was my big thing. So like I got into actual hand drawing, and it's crazy how that came full circle with just like graphic design. And not to sit up here and tell like the whole story, but like so
Of course.
photography as a shorty. Now I do Photoshop. Drawing as a kid. Now I do like Illustrator and stuff like that. I can do characters and stuff like that. And I can do motion graphics, motion design. Music came from poetry. Like I like music a lot, but I more so wrote poems because like I just used to be mad at the situation I was in. And this is I used to go to school 43, like James Wilkin Raleigh. So like I used to stay in Marblehead Apartments right on Meridian, right next to Winona. Like old heads know this. Like nobody under like 26 to like really like know about this. But like it was, you know, it was rough. So like I really started writing poems. It's like 2001. I'm writing poems just about everything that's going on. A situation happened. I ended up moving from my mama to living with my cousin in the suburbs and start going to township school. 9/11 happened. I ended up writing a poem in like the 4th grade. It ended up getting published in the newspaper. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like a lot of stuff coming full circle. I thought about quitting like 7 years ago. I can't quit. Right. So it's just like, you know, seeds. That's what it come down to. Seeds. Like, nobody in my family before me has been a musician. You know, like I've always been compared to like an uncle of mine, but he overdosed to heroin back in like the 70s. So it just kind of like, I gotta make something of myself.
Okay.
Well, with the things I'm good at and passionate about, I don't have to do things that make me unhappy to build the life I want. I see so many people breaking their back doing that.
Okay.
So that's really where my whole mindset comes from.
For sure. So what do y'all see? This is kind of a two-parter. What do y'all see for the brand, like long term? Like what's next for y'all? But what do y'all see for yourselves individually too?
Well, the one thing about that year that we was living together, like we also had a place that was I would say a sanctuary for students to come to and just chill, you know, kind of discourse, you know, kind of be able to pick each other's brains. So like we always was like educators, you know, and you know as he just went over it, you know, we're both artists, you know, but we also like to educate. And I believe like today with technology is such a convenience, you know, so it's kind of made us more irresponsible toward like holding us more accountable for our actions. We'll kind of always point the blame at other people now. You know, if you don't get your food made, you blame someone else. You blame the Uber driver. You don't kind of look at yourself like, just go cook then. Right. You know, it's like sometimes it's not even about the money no more. You're just so entitled to having other people make sure your lifestyle is supposed to go according to what you see it, that you forget that you can still rely on yourself to be able to make your life your reality. So like you can create your own avenue to flourish in. And I believe like education is a lost art. So I feel like, we need to provide that service and educate people through our fashion and be able to motivate them through our fashion, through our art, inspire them through our art. Because, nowadays, technology, like the writers, they're on strike because they say like AI is supposed to replace them. Like it's not even, of course it's the money, but also it's just insulting to what they love to do, and they're like, we still want to do this though. We're not
Right.
even, it's also the money, but we also still love to write.
Exactly.
We don't want to just look over an AI script and you're like, oh, yeah, okay, tweak here and there. No, we still have our own innovations, our own creativity that we want to put on paper. And you're trying to take that away from us as humans. So I feel like as humans, we have a right to flourish on our own avenue. So.
Sorry.
Facts. I definitely like just like to piggyback on what he said. Like really just to me at the end of the day, if we can build a community, a community of like-minded people that want to progress in a positive manner, they want to build a better life or build this enhance the situation in a better way that they in. You know what I'm saying? Or if they feel like they satisfied, they can help the next person over. You know what I'm saying? Or they can help a loved one. So like, I really just want to build a community of like-minded people who feel good about what they good at, who are open-minded to learn more things, because like I think that's the biggest thing. When you go through certain things, whether it's trauma or whether it's like heartbreak, or you get I ain't gonna say you get stubborn, but you get set in your ways to where you don't want to open yourself up for love no more. You don't want to open yourself up for knowledge no more. You don't want to open yourself up to hear what the next motherfucker got to say because you just tired of it. Mm-hmm. And like, I understand that. You feel me? Like, but shit, you 20, you 30, like shit, you trying to live a long life. Like, you can't live a life like isolated like that. You know what I'm saying? I want people to understand that you have value to give to the world. Like, a lot of people be forgetting that. A lot of people be waking up and being mediocre. And yes, I'm gonna say it. Sometimes I wake up and I just let it go. But shit, you gotta wake up and be intentional. Like, life's short. So building a community of positive individuals, like shit, who really can make a mark in this world. I want us to go in the history books. We ain't gotta be a cult. We could be a movement though, for sure. They shake this shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing.
For sure.
Yeah, and long live Huey Newton, for real.
For sure. I love that. So because I do speak about mental health and spirituality a lot on my platform, I do want to ask y'all, how do y'all stay grounded? And how important to y'all is y'all health mentally? Because I feel like life, of course, walking in purpose, like, all of that is great. And, life is life. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is going to always have its ups, it's going to always have its downs. And even when you are walking in purpose, you're still going to run into different challenges. And I feel like because life is what it is, life is also very busy and very loud. So how do y'all keep yourself grounded, and how important is mental wellness for y'all?
I guess I'll start off. I say the first thing for me is setting boundaries. And I can verbally say that now as a grown adult. I feel like I've always set boundaries. I've never let anybody just like run over me. Mm-hmm. There have been people I feel like I've respected, and like maybe they didn't have the reciprocated level of respect for me. Mm-hmm. And it was just like, okay, well, I gotta stop doing stuff. Well, you know what I'm saying? I gotta stop doing stuff for you on that level, because shit, you definitely wouldn't do it for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like just setting boundaries first and foremost, because people can project on you. People can lean on you. They can gaslight you into certain things, and sometimes they don't even be intentional. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's just like if you know one of your friends speak a certain type of way, and you just not in the mood for that, you don't have to always answer their call. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going through something, you can send them a text. But the way I am, I don't gotta explain nothing to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like I just but I do, I am a child of God. Like I do, I do serve God. Like so, I'm not the like an almighty person, but at the same time, it's just like once I take on something, I take on the accountability for something. I do something and it's finished. It's finished. Don't bring it back up to me if it's a period on it. That sentence is over with. We move past it.
Right.
But at the same time, like, I'm not opposed to problem solving, taking care of things. I really just don't like dealing with nonsense. So setting boundaries really help eliminate that. Really just start doing that just as far as like in business as well. You know what I'm saying? Like just having a big heart. I feel like I got a big heart. Not everybody gonna say that, but I feel like I just be thinking about everybody else in their situation and what they going through and like, oh, well, no, I got to shave my rate because of this. And it's like, well, shit, is the next person going to do that for you? But you in this place of business, like how is your business going to be respected?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like shit, somebody come and want a t-shirt, how is it going to be, how is it going to look that you're not on par with you just not, everything's not on par across the board. You know what I'm saying? So like I think boundaries is a big thing for me. Brother, what you got?
Yeah, I think boundaries was one of the first lessons I had to learn about improving my mental wellness, is that I have to find the boundaries that I want to set with others. Because, like you said, 9 times out of 10, a lot of people do unintentional things more times than they do intentional things, is because, they say your subconscious is stronger and whatnot. So once I started realizing that, I started to working on habits that can help improve my subconscious so that my impulses can kind of lead to better decisions instead of like reactionary decisions. So I know like my mental health, like understanding that I do need to realize I can't go cuckoo if I don't take care of myself, instead of trying to like let my pride get in the way, especially as us as men. I think the reason why we stress is because we be in denial of our mental health. And so a lot of us die in our 50s and 60s because, high blood pressure, heart, issues and all that, So I think once I started realizing, let me start taking care of my mental health, start setting boundaries with people, like you said, start prioritizing my time, because I know a lot of times people, they'll envy others who value themselves.
Facts.
And that's kind of what stops them, because you're just mad because other people want more for themselves.
Right.
And it's like, you can do it too. You should want that for yourself too. And it's okay if both of y'all can win. And a lot of people want to just win, but they want other people to be under them. And it's like, nah, man, you can't be worried about the other person.
They don't even want to win on a big scale. As long as they get it could be a little bitty race. As long as I beat you, I got to hit.
Like
we ain't even racing for no bread.
Like in basketball, every basketball player, before they transited into a star, had to play their part on a certain team. Like Kobe, he had to play a certain part with Shaq. Before he can drop 80, he wasn't dropping 81 with Shaq, all right? Nah. He wouldn't be able to do that. He had to play his role, learn, and kind of maximize the best he could at his role. Like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan couldn't average 30 in college. He had to maximize the best he could at his role. And out of that role, he got a game-winning jump shot, in the 3rd round pick, and that's good enough. And he only averaged, at best, 20 points. And a lot of people are surprised by that, but it's because he played his role well. And then when he went to the NBA, his coach said, look, I want you to do whatever. And he maximized that. He dropped 27.
He was prepared for his opportunity because he been played his role.
Whatever his coach asked him to do, he was going to maximize that. If it was going to be passing, okay, he would average 8 assists that year. Or if it was going to be defense, he would win Defensive Player of the Year. If it was scoring, he'll win scoring record. If it was to win the championship, he'll win the championship 6 times. Whatever somebody asked him to do something, he did it. That's why people say he's the GOAT. Just like LeBron, whatever he had to do, if he had to leave his team, he had to leave. Well, Cleveland. If he had to leave Cleveland, he had to leave Cleveland. He had to play the best what he can with his role. And like a lot of people don't understand their assignment because everybody want to be a leader. But I feel like to be the best leader, you have to be the best follower. And a lot of people, they just follow the wrong people. Now, you need to follow the right people. But if you follow the right people, can't nobody hate on you. Can't nobody get mad at you if you're following the right people. Because you're only going to go in the same direction as the right people go. So you can't get mad at that.
Exactly.
I think another thing I've just gotten back to, like with intent, is like getting back to things that like make me happy. that make me laugh, make me smile. Even stuff that's just silly. You know what I'm saying? Cause for a long time I was just like, I'm wasting my time on this. You know what I'm saying? Like grown ass man. Like, but it's just like hell no. Like if what I'm doing,
staying in tune with that inner child is important.
It's definitely important. I feel like so many adults, their imagination got pissed on. You know what I'm saying? Once they turn 17 or 18, or once that like responsibility
12.
outside of school or at the end of like high school or wherever, it just hit them in their chest.
Right.
It's like the whole, and I blame the system too. The system do that to you because they want everybody to be working and I ain't gonna lie, for it to work, some people have to, you know, but at the same time, damn,
Like,
the sheep who knows that they're a sheep and that's a very dangerous person. So I just like people should just know like that you can break out of that. But I just feel like being in touch with the inner child and that imagination, because like the imagination and the creativity, that's what I'm all about. Like I don't really want to. I'm always about like, well, how can we not bend the rule? How can we make a new rule to X out rule number 6? Like just override that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I just want to let's have fun, man. You only get one life to live.
Like a lot of people be delusional, but like you could be like delusional about your craft, delusional about your job. You can be delusional about bills, but like whatever you're delusional about, that's what's gonna drive you crazy. Because you know they say the greats are crazy too about their work, but a delusion about something positive. A lot of people are making a lot of choices in negative situations. It's like that's why they say like drug dealing kingpins could be CEOs because y'all making the right strategic and executive decisions, but the outcomes are negative outcomes. It varies. Like the outcome in legitimate business, like a negative outcome in legitimate business is financial loss. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a lawsuit. In the streets, death, extortion, kidnapping, I don't know, jail,
Addiction.
anything, like addiction, like, guilty, it's a lot of things. Like, and so it's just like, which negative outcomes do you want to vary in your life? And, you just have some people that like, they think they can handle certain negative outcomes on their conscience. And it's like, all right, you said it at 17, ask yourself that at 27, and then 37, and then 47. And then once you're 57, and if you still think that way, then all right, man, you got me beat. Then I ain't gonna even try to convince you. I'm good. You are who you are.
Right. So one thing I almost forgot to ask you, Verge, how did you start the whole like charity basketball games? How did that come about? Did you play basketball or?
Nah.
That almost.
I mean, I played basketball growing up, like in Pee Wee leagues at like Sports Zone and stuff like that, like Pike Youth Basketball Club. But nah, I never was like I was a football player. I played football like my middle school, like really like elementary school to my middle school years, and but the charity game actually came. I was throwing parties in high school. Like me and my friends was throwing parties in high school, like trying to make some money and it had something to do for the people. And I believe our first year out of school, our first year out of high school, we came up with like we just had different events already going on, but like our winter event, we was throwing a basketball game, and I think me and my homie Ann Banks, shout out to Ann Banks, we was like, man, we need to like have a meaning behind it, like to really get people to come out. Like, what's the draw gonna be? And it was just like, all right, well, shoot, it's Christmas time. It's around Christmas time. Let's just get people to come out and bring like they canned goods and stuff like that, and we just gonna make it like a charity event. And it really started from there. So that was our first one was 2011, the winter of 2011. It's been going on for, this year it'd be like the 12th year, I think.
That's what's up.
You kind of caught me off guard with that because I usually think about it when I'm in winter, like fall winter mode. But because we used to do a football game throughout the summer times. But like once people, because like shout out to Sheed, South Beach Sheed, that's my boy Rasheed Nicholas. He's one of the founders too. Shout out to Steven Thompson. Shout out to Kenny. You feel me? Shout out to Tones. It's a lot. It's like MGM. WMP, it was a big group. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna lie, it was like 12 to 15 people. But like we was just putting on these events, like these charity events, and we just used all our resources. Like Ann Banks, he was like the DJR group. I would help host like the first couple ones just on the mic emceeing. I came up with like the flyer design, came up with like the jersey designs for the teams and stuff like that. So the best thing I've gained out of it is like really the experience seeing how many people we helping with the donations and things like that. Like we've been able to donate to organizations like the Moselle Sanders Foundation. Many different foundations across Indiana. It was a few foundations in Bloomington, Indiana. They help with different children and I believe like a shelter for battered women and things like that. So like every charity we've been able to donate, we've been an area event we've been able to donate to some charity that's been able to provide value to the community, and it's just been a good thing. I never thought that I would be on I never even thought about philanthropy, but man, once you start something in it and you just doing a good thing, you really can't stop.
Exactly, I love that. All right, so as we wrap up this interview, because the podcast is called the Keys and Seeds Podcast, I do want to ask the both of you guys, what is a key piece of advice that y'all can give people that are listening that can be a seed that they can plant?
I would say, honestly, simplify your life, because like when I say believe in yourself, like simply like just start believing in yourself. And when I say that, just be in the moment of what you're doing, when you wake up in the morning, be intentional, be present, just really just simplify your life. Enjoy waking up, enjoy brushing your teeth. When you start enjoying like little things, like as far as getting a glass of water, because because if I couldn't get a glass of water for the rest of my life, what would happen? You would die because you didn't get no water. So it's just like you need to enjoy the simple things of like making your bed. Just enjoy the simple things in life, because the hard stuff, how many of us enjoy the hard stuff? So it's just like enjoy stuff that is sweet, simple. Enjoy it when someone tells you look nice, appreciate when someone open the door for you, like just run to the door. Just walk, take your time, because you're appreciative, just like when you see, your loved one, you get that rush, so just like when someone open the door, you get that rush, you run to the door, like, thank you, like, man, that could be that first momentum of that good luck that can get your day going.
Hi.
My advice is if you got something that you've been wanting to do, and for some reason, like it's the biggest thing or the smallest thing, like holding you back, man, just go ahead and start it. Like no matter if, man, your cousin do this, my cousin got that business, I don't want to do what they doing, or well, this person, they made a song that they made a song with this same name or with this same like subject matter. I don't want to do that because I'm gonna seem like I'm biting. Like people y'all gotta get out of that. You know what I'm saying? Like really get out of that, because like you only hurting yourself. You know what I'm saying? You only hurting yourself. So anything that you want to do, put your mind to it. Be intentional. Be very intentional, and be gentle with yourself, because the mind is a powerful thing, and it can be dangerous too. So you can use it for the power of good, or you can use it for some very very demonic things. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it on the positive. Like shit, whatever you want to do, shit, just go for it. Make sure it's something positive. Make sure it's something that could be to the better of. To the improvement of like your mental health, or like your financial situation for you and your people. So just go for it. Go for it.
I love it. Anything else you guys would like to promote or plug and let the people know where they can find y'all at?
You can find us on Instagram at Flourish Avenue. You can find us online, flourish-av.com. I'll be on the lookout for our summer release. You know, we just wrapped up our first event for the first time ever, April 1st. It was Flourish Naptown.
It was great vibes too, man. If y'all missed it, y'all missed out.
But fortunately, you know, we will have another event soon.
Back again.
Sometime this summer, you know. So hopefully, you know, we'll be able to bring out a lot of people. Hopefully everybody just be able to come and flourish, you know, just enjoy themselves, you know.
Period.
Yep. So yeah, check us out, man. Flourish. We online. Yeah, follow us on there. Did you already mention the thing about the next event? Should we say the date?
Yeah.
Should we say the date?
No. Like, no. We gonna trust your vision. So, you know, yeah. Everything go according to plan.
Flyer dropping soon, man.
Yeah.
Flyer gonna be dropped by the time the episode.
He's a Swiss Army knife, so
make sure y'all go check us out.
You'll know when you know.
Summer vibes, man.
All right. Well, if that's all you guys have to say, I appreciate you guys again for not only coming on, but coming on as my first guest to interview.
Yeah. Woo!
And that is a wrap. Thank you guys for tuning in for yet another episode.
Keys exceed in your mouth, bitch. Boop, boop, boop.